Hello, and welcome to the Galloping Gurus, your home for daily horse racing analysis, race previews, and expert insights. If you enjoy our content, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an update. Or for even more in-depth analysis, join the Galloping Gurus membership club at gallopinggurus.com, where you'll receive our exclusive race analysis before the markets even open, giving you access to our thoughts ahead of the day's racing. It's all about getting that value, and if you get it the day before, then you'll certainly be getting exactly that. Ciao, ciao.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How you
Hiya.
doing? All right?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, you?
Yeah, not too bad. Just flying through tomorrow's. I haven't managed to go through air as much as I would have liked to be honest, because actually, of all the meetings, I think it almost had some of the interesting ones to go with. But I mean, I'm not jumping up and down about it. Do you want to? Should we start at Kempton or?
Yeah, I think so.
Okie dokie. I mean, I I got nothing until 5 o'clock. So if you've got things before that, be my guest.
I thought 4 o'clock was relatively interesting.
Yeah.
You've got Fallacious Promise in there, second to Radical last time he ran.
Yep.
John Butler, obviously in good form at the moment.
Yep.
So, I mean, drawn in 10, but he will be held up anyway, won't he? And I think he will run well. He won't be my selection necessarily, but interesting that the two of them meet again, and this time, I mean, Radica got an attacking ride last time from Marco Gianni, didn't he? And
Yeah.
I don't think we can say the same about Luke Catton.
No.
I think it's fair to say it's obviously Luke's claiming still, and a little bit of a slight downgrade jockey-wise there. So I wouldn't necessarily be with him either. Which would open the door then to someone like either Shadowmere, I thought. Decent run at Windsor last time, strong at the finish. If he got an attacking ride, he'd be interesting.
Yeah.
And a little bit of an interesting Coxey Star.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Stayed on quite nicely last time over 7 towards the end. Step up in trip should help. And I think we'll see exactly how good he can be over the mile, really.
Yeah. It was the
Well,
sneaky one.
she even.
She's the sneaky one in there, isn't she? It's why I had a bit of a. It's why I didn't end up writing anything down for it, because obviously I thought exactly the same thoughts as you. Obviously Radica, and then the Butler horse, and then I saw this, and I was like, oh, that could be a funny one. I actually thought Ballybunion didn't run a horrible race last time out. Wind surgery second time. Shadowmere, like you say, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'm giving 4 or 5 a chance in here, and that's not normally the way to the bank for me. So I ended up leaving it. I did, of all of them, that Coxey Star probably is quite interesting in the sense of she's only had 3 runs first time in a handicap. I've got a feeling Willie Muir and Chris Grassick are just hitting their strides a bit, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
and so it just gave me a little bit of the old heebie-jeebies, really, betting betting purposes, especially as Fallacious is forecast to be 3-1. And it's just like,
I think that'd be short enough, really, because I think it's a stronger race in depth, I think, than last time.
Yeah, there are some funny ones, aren't there? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it did well to finish quite so close, considering the track that day was playing towards pace.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, I just couldn't be with Radhika with Catton instead of Gianni around here. I mean, Gianni the horse basically came off the bridle turning in, and he was all action really, and
You know,
kept it going, didn't he?
when I watched that race back again today, I thought the same as you. Fallacious Promise did tremendously well to get to where he did, and then it looked like Radka pulled out more at the end
Yeah,
just to hold him off. But like you just said, it was very difficult coming from behind that day. So the amount of running he had done to get there in the first place, I think, basically told you that he'd done a very good job just to get there. And I think it might be a different scenario this time, as you say, with Luke on board and blah 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 blah. But yeah, for
yeah.
me it was
I think you're right there. Actually, it did pull out more. I thought when the other one basically got to it,
yeah
because it looked for all the world like it was going to get beat, and
yeah yeah.
but obviously, like you say, the other one had done so much running to get there.
Oh,
It
mate,
was a good effort,
yeah
but yeah, it's quite a good little race for the
yeah.
grade, and
Certainly
there's a
interesting,
few
isn't it?
interesting ones.
I'll be
Yeah,
keeping my eye on Coxey's stuff. I'll be keeping my eye on
yeah,
it.
could be a little move in the market for it.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd be looking for more than anything else. If it was strong in the market, if it's weak in the
Yeah,
market, then you'll probably assume that they don't really fancy it much. But
yeah, yeah. I have actually got. Well, I've definitely got one I'm interested in the 430.
oh, cool. Well, that's good.
Now, this is a horse I've spoke about on a few occasions. It's Ghost Story.
Yeah,
Obviously, we've mentioned John Butler being in good form. He had a double here at Kempton last Wednesday.
yeah,
The last twice it's run over basically a mile 4.
yeah.
Now, as I've said to you, I've got my reservations about a mile 4 being her best trip. And a lot of I think generally, a mile 2 with cutting the ground is what she really likes. Needless to say, she's not getting any cutting the ground at the moment.
No,
So I'm quite pleased that it's a mile and 3 at Kempton. I think this could turn out to be ideal for her. Needless to say, there are 3-year-olds in her that are unexposed and against her, but Shirakawa ran well at Sandown last time. Didn't look great before the race, I must admit. So was a decent run to finish second, but changing surface probably just got to prove she's still on the upward curve. And Hot Steel Car's massively disappointed with at Leicester last time. It's a horse that's flattering to deceive at the moment.
yeah,
Certainly, as far as I'm concerned, I've fancied it the last twice and been disappointed really.
yeah.
So I didn't think there was like 3-year-olds that you'd think, well, I'm scared of that. I mean, there are 3-year-olds that can improve and can win, obviously, but there
Yeah,
wasn't one where you thought, well, that one is definitely the one to beat.
yeah. The form's
Uh,
working out well, sort of thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, Ghost Story down from a mile 4 to a mile 3 on the all-weather, I think could be ideal for her. She's got David Egan, who rode the 25-1 winner for John Butler on Wednesday. And I generally quite like Egan riding for Butler.
yeah,
So she's probably going to be, I would suggest, around 10s or 8s. And I wouldn't mind a small bet on her just to see if this trip is what she wants. And plus, the last day was she ran in the Desert Bell race at Wolverhampton, where Desert Bell was second, Lady Magoo or whatever,
yeah,
absolutely bolted up.
yeah.
And she was right there and just faded sort of late on, which again suggests to me that the mile 3 round here will be ideal for her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, little bit keen on that.
Okie dokie. Sounds good. Yeah, I can't see why not, mate. You've got the Butler Yarder in cracking form and have been for some time now. like you said, Dave
Yeah.
riding for Johnny's always interesting, I think. Yeah.
As soon as you see him booked, you take a second glance. I do anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okie dokie. There we go. That's Ghost Story there for Max. The 4:30. On to the 5 o'clock. Written a little bit of some spiel stuff out here. And I've said, believe it, and you can. Won the Northumberland Vars handicap last time out, which is competitive race, worth 40 grand, and Newcastle is a stiff track. Although front runners were suited that day, it was still a good performance to lead all the way round 2 miles in a competitive race like that. It's been
Going
improving.
3 wide as well.
Yeah, 3 wide as well. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. It's been improving all year with 3 wins on the bounce, and into this slightly less competitive race, should have a say in the finish. He has a good draw to stalk the pace, and Luke Gatton, who won on him at Ascot, is claiming £3, forecast to be 3-1. I've also said that Killer Whale is a lightly raced 3-year-old stepping up in trip after a 65-day break and is receiving plenty of weight for age. Could be interesting at a big price stepping up in trip back on the all-weather, where he still has potential. Well, she still has potential, I think. No, he still has potential. Forecast to be 16s. And I've also said Double Meaning is back on the all-weather for the first time since his last win at Lingfield last September. And he's back up in trip, having looked like his best form has been over the 2 miles. Forecast to be 10s. So they were just 3 horses that I just talked about a little bit in there. I think we're both, we've both had good experience with Believe It and We Can, haven't we, Max?
What's that, sorry?
I said I think we've both had good experience with Believe It and You Can.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I really missed it the first time it won this season, and fortunately we jumped on board for the next 2. But I mean, it's when it runs on the flat, it just doesn't finish anything other than first or second, really, does it?
No.
Such a good little horse to have, and this race, like you say, is easier than the last time.
Yeah.
It only went up 5 for that win, and Luke taking off 3 would definitely be a plus. It's quite a simple horse to ride as well, isn't it?
I was going to say that. Yeah, he's uncomplicated.
Yeah. I don't really see why it won't go close here.
No, certainly not.
Again, like you said, Double Meaning is interesting. And another one I'd throw in there is Knight Templar. Doesn't seem to run a bad race, really. And the run at Sandown last time wasn't too bad, considering personal best was bet like defeat was out of the question, and got an easy-ish time.
Yeah.
Out in front. So I wouldn't rule that out completely. Probably not good enough to win, but could hit the frame. So yeah, I'd probably echo pretty much everything you said there.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, there we go. That was
quite a good race, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a good race. Yeah, I'll be interested to watch that for sure. I think of the 3-year-olds, like I say, I do think that the Balding Horse is a little bit interesting because his run behind Chasing Time at Wolverhampton wasn't horrible over a mile 4. Chasing Time's gone and won that Newmarket Novice 20,000 quid race last time out. And I will say that I thought Killer Whale looked slow and would probably be very, very much be suited by this extra distance. And obviously it's receiving a bucket of weight, isn't it, in this race?
Yeah.
And I think if there was a lot of money for it, it would probably be quite telling. I'd be interested to see if there was a lot of money for it, but Yeah. Anyway, it's a very interesting race, and obviously, Believe It and You Can is a big interest to us and has been, all season, hasn't it? But
Yeah.
good race. Okie dokie. All right. So over to Windsor, and once again, I've only got one race written down, and that's in the 8:15. So other than that,
Right.
I guess we'll go with you.
Well, just thought I'd say a little bit about the sprint final.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been qualifiers pretty much every week for this, so you're generally getting horses
Yeah.
like the track and have possibly been aimed at this.
Yeah.
Um, it does make it competitive, obviously, because it's a big prize. So
Yeah.
for these horses, you certainly want to be winning it. A horse who, whenever he runs at Windsor, I do take a second look. Trefor,
Yeah.
he's a little bit interesting. He was sent off favourite here when he ran earlier in the season, which qualified him for this, off a mark of 96. Now runs off 81. He was second in this race last year off, I think, what was it? Was it 96? I've lost where I am now.
Yeah. 94.
Yeah, 94. So second in
Yeah.
this off 94, now off 91.
Yeah.
Obviously a year older, but these sprinters generally hold their form and can remain pretty much as good as they were for a few years, can't they? So
Yeah.
I wouldn't let that put me off too much. A couple of runs come down the handicap. Kieran Schumacher booked. Thought he was a little bit interesting. He's probably, despite his form figures, going to be, I would suggest, around 6-1,
Wow.
7-1 in the market, because whenever he rocks up at Windsor, the money comes for him.
He's 7-1. He is actually 7-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
William Hill and them. Yeah.
I won't deny last season he was in slightly better form than he is now. So it's a little bit of a leap of faith. But and obviously it's not a yard I go to all that often, I must admit.
Although you did have the big winner yesterday with them. The big boom.
Well, you can't do better than an even money chance,
You
can you?
can't, mate. No, absolutely.
I would have been more than happy to row in with the Husqvarna at 5-2 or possibly even 2-1. But
even
when you're
money.
talking even money about
the fact is, it won, though. Thank goodness it won, because me and you are not ones for sticking up short prices in general, are we?
No, I was regretting it as soon as I saw the price, I must admit. But
yeah, but it won, so that's the main
you
thing.
did say what was my nap, and he did clamber above a couple of others to get that title.
Yeah.
So thank goodness he didn't let me down.
No, he certainly didn't. And then, ultimately, was a winner. Like I said, if you'd had a tenner on each of them, you'd come out even for the day. And that was that.
Yeah. I mean, we certainly try and avoid the short price ones, that's for sure. There's plenty of other people out there that like to do that, and we'll leave them to it. So
yeah.
But yeah, in general, this is a good race. I thought Indian Run had some sort of chance for Julie Camacho. That's in pretty good form at the moment. That was second here, off 85, up to 90 now. But third at third at Ascot in a Class 2 the other day, so still in good heart. And there's no point in bringing them down here if they're going to be disgracing themselves out the back. And obviously Badgery keeps winning, but
yeah.
I mean, you've got to wonder, now he's off 99. Surely it's too high to be winning the final.
I was shocked that I thought after he won those first two, after his 7th position, I thought they would have saved him for this.
Yeah,
They didn't. They went and had another win at Pontefract, and I don't know. I've got a funny feeling that scuppered his chances.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. I think if he were mine, I would have said, well, hold up, there's quite a decent value race at Windsor we can be going for here at a track he generally runs well at. So we'll go for that. But I mean, you never know. He might go in and win and rack up the 4-timer, but
He
I
was
would have saved him really.
third last year off 96. So
Yeah, exactly. So on that form with Trefor, then you'd have to be chancing Trefor, really, wouldn't you?
yeah,
A pull at the weights and
yeah,
everything, and beat him last year.
yeah.
So yeah, quite a good race, really competitive. I'd give Trefor a small chance, and I'd give any number of horses little chances as well.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but there we go. Okie dokie. That's the 7:15. Anything else before the 8:15?
Nope, not for me. Nope.
Okay, you can probably guess what I've written down here.
Fizzy Bear.
No.
Yeah, no.
My old mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious, and
As soon as I
forecast.
saw the card, I knew what you were going to do.
Yeah, it just impressed me the way he travelled in that race last time out, and I was interested in him last time out, wasn't I? When he got pulled out, but he's back. He's back here over the track and trip. Just travelled so well. I mean, he absolutely just travelled them into the ground, didn't he? And I'm not sure that a £5 penalty and Billy Loughnane can, will stop him. I guess there is a fair few pesky 3-year-olds in here that could come out of nowhere. We all know that, but on known form, I thought he was the most interesting one in there. Especially with Billy booked. Not often he's riding for the Moors, is he?
No, Drew, this was entered, or certainly a similar horse was entered a while back, and Billy was booked for them, wasn't he?
I
And
think
it
it
was
was this.
oh no, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so he rode Zaltala for them as well the other day, didn't he? When it was second,
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
which, so like you say, it's an unusual booking for the yard, but certainly signals their intent.
you would think so. Yeah. So I mean, we're probably not telling anybody anything they don't already know in there, and considering we don't rush after reasonably short price favourites, and this is what he probably will be, because he's forecast to be 15-8. With Billy on, he'll probably be 7-4 or 13-8, I suspect. But must have a very good chance with him on. But if I was to play him and he won, it wouldn't change my life, and that's normally what I look at with these things. If they're not if they're not of any value, and I've got to stake too much to get a small return, I'd normally leave them. But he is the most likely winner for me, if that's how you'd like to look at that. I don't know how you feel about that, Max. I think pretty much the same.
Yeah, that at those sort of prices, by and large, you'd rather just think, well, I think they'll win, but I'm not necessarily going to back them because the ends doesn't really justify the means, does it?
No. And there's plenty of other races, isn't there? And that's how you kind of have to look at this whole thing. Yeah, it's got a very good chance of winning, but there's a race tomorrow that I might find something that's 5 or 6 to 1 that that I feel's got a very good chance, and at that point I can have less money and win more. Meaning I can put less money down and win more money back.
Yeah, that's the one you want to be sort of aiming for, really. But if you were going to have a fiver on each race or
Yeah,
a pound on
absolutely.
each race or something, and you were there for a fun night out,
Yeah.
you'd
You'd
probably
definitely be the one.
you would back my old mate, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. If I was
you were
there
just
for a night out with my pals, having a beer or something like that, for sure, it just give you a bit of fun, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you think one is going to win a race, it's well worth mentioning, because there will be some people that on a Monday night think, well, I'll just watch Windsor and I'll have a small bet in each race, and
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, why not?
Yeah, there we go. Okie dokie. So on to air, and got nothing in the first. 2:15. I've written a couple down here. I mean, I'm not jumping up and down about this classified race in air, and I have only written down just a couple. I've written down Royal Baroness and Hostelry. Royal Baroness ran well last time in a handicap. Sorry, actually, in May ran well, beaten just the 3 1/4 lengths by Mere Side Princess on soft ground. That was a 0 to 60 handicap, and this is a 0 to 50 classified race. The ground won't be a problem. I think there's been a little bit of rain up there and had a little break, and I'm wondering if a little break is best time to catch her. And Hostelry, well, been watching this horse for a little while, and it has crashed from a mark of 68, last winning mark back last August, and is now rated 50, and it's first time into a classified race.
First time visor as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, first time visor as well. It kind of feels like they're throwing the kitchen sink at this thing, doesn't it? So, you know, it in a race like this, certainly would have a bit of a chance. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to get excited about, but this horse was a lot better in the past. But that was my thoughts on the race. I don't know whether you even had any thoughts on it, mate. But
I didn't have too many thoughts on it, I must admit.
You thought that's a shit race.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought I'll be avoiding that and moved on.
Yeah. So there we go. They're just the two that I thought I'd talk about in here, but there we go. On to the 245. I have got Carmel Valley written down. I think that's ran a couple of decent races the last twice. Once over the 8 furlongs here, and then over the course and distance last time out in a Class 4 behind Imperial Guard. Travelled really well into the race. Only got beaten a length and a nose. Although it was called a Class 4, it was only a Class 5 because there wasn't any horses in there rated above 74. Either way, though, it was still quite a good run, and wouldn't be without a chance here with Jason Hart on board, 3-year-old receiving lots of weight for age. The other one, Cat and Lady. I don't get Mick and David Easterby right very often, but this horse is reasonably well handicapped. Won't mind the juice in the ground. Although ran in a selling stakes last time out, was only receiving £1 from an 80 rated rival, and yet Cat and Lady's only rated 65. That was on good to firm ground as well, good in places, but if there's any juice in the ground, it will certainly be in her favour. So certainly wouldn't have no chance, that's for sure. Run at first class September as well. I know that's a little while away, but was a good run. Second behind Day of Grace. Race worked out very well. Soft ground. So would have a small chance in there as well. I don't know if you had too many thoughts in there, mate.
No, I just saw your old favourite Trope Power was in there, and
you thought that would be it?
It's probably case closed.
Well, Novak's in there as well. Don't mind Novak as well, but
oh yeah, and he ran over the the
Yeah,
mile last
the
time, didn't he?
mile.
Which
Yeah,
he's massively unsuccessful over, and
yeah,
dropping back to a trip he can run well over.
yeah. He's well handicapped as well. So
The old
interesting.
Carmel Valley, ever since it's come to these shores, it's never run anywhere up in air, has it?
No, it hasn't. No, it's interesting that that's been the
And
case as well. Yeah,
I do think Jason Hart riding for Katie Scott's always interesting.
yeah, yeah. I think so as well. Travelled well, like I say, last time out, and don't think the little bit of juice in the ground will upset that horse either. But yeah, okie dokie. So that's a 2:45, 4:15. I don't know anything in between that.
No. One thing we did say was and this isn't about any specific horse, but the Linda Perrott yard are going particularly well when they have their runners up there. So,
They are going well everywhere at the moment, aren't they? Crikey. They are
yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, if she banged in a winner, we wouldn't be surprised.
Definitely not. No, it's definitely not a bad time to be keeping a lookout for her horses at the moment. Yeah.
Especially if they're a big price as well. Because
Crazy, isn't it?
she's had a few of those as opposed to ones that are well bet. So just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think there's something like 6 from 12 or something at the moment. I think they're like on a 50% strike rate at the moment. Just banging them in all over the
Oof.
place. Yeah. Which for a yard like
Yeah.
that, 6 from 12 is pretty good. That's for
Well,
sure.
exactly, because they certainly aren't 6 even money chances that are winning, are they? So
No, it'd be massive prices, haven't they? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So on to the 4:15 air there. And I've written a little spiel out here, and it's for a horse called Positive Thoughts, which we all need to have. Stepping up in trip, blinkers on first time, three-year-old receiving weight for age. Didn't get the best of runs last time out at Wolves when caught a bit too far back, and is now back on the turf. Stepping up in trip could be interesting. Particularly on the run behind Amber Hammer at Hamilton last time out. Oh, Dougie Baby was on that day, and I'm not saying he did anything wrong. He certainly didn't, but the horse was doing all his best work in the finish there at Hamilton, and once again was doing all his best work in the finish again at Wolverhampton, but was way out of his ground. Also went off 4-1 second favourite that day. I do think that this extra 2 furlongs won't do him any harm. A little bit like at Carlisle the time before that in the Class 5 there. Was doing all his best work in the finish again. Soft ground that day. Do think this extra 2 furlongs will help. Jason on board. 3-year-old receiving lots of weight for age and forecast to be 10-1. I think that's a pretty juicy price. Rika Bella has been on our radar for a little while. I stuck Rika Bella up at Doncaster, I think it was back in May, Max, wasn't it? I think we stuck it up then, and
Yeah, I think so.
got beat by sister and brother half a length, and I was rather perplexed by that. Anyway, didn't run that great the next time out, and then went and won with Billy on at Ayr off a mark of 53. I just don't think that horse is a world beater. So ultimately, forecast to be 100-30. I would be looking for something to take it on. Now it can go and win. I'm not a complete idiot, but I don't tend to think those horses are the best ones to go and jump on to back up a win. 5-year-old, been around for a long time. It's not as if it's something that potentially could jump out of the ground and go in, whereas Positive Thoughts could do with the blinkers on first time as well. So a little bit interesting there, Positive Thoughts at a forecast double figure odds. I'm by no means saying have a huge go at this, but a small play at a big odds, he's the one that I would take my chance with.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Yeah. So there we go. That's all I've got, I'm afraid. Unless you've got anything else at air.
No, as you can imagine, Air was probably the meeting I spent the least amount of time on, I must admit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't come up with too much.
No. Okie dokie. All right. Well, that's the end of the podcast there. Happy Monday. Okay, so that just about wraps everything up for today. Thanks for listening to today's analysis. If you found it useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss our daily race previews. For our exclusive early analysis before the markets open, visit gallopinggurus.com and become a member today. We mostly rely on people's kindness to donate for our hard work, so if you feel like you got something out of our analysis or out of our content, please don't hesitate to go to the gallopinggurus.com website and hit that donate button. No matter how big or small, we appreciate your support. Be lucky, everyone. Enjoy the racing, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao for now.